the narrative nowadays, I'm just touching on what you talked about earlier about you guys being individuals.
Yeah.
The narrative today goes something like maybe the reason why people are scared or avoiding to go into marriage, into this lifetime commitment, is that, and you talked about getting married at 24, is that I'm afraid we might grow apart. And you've heard people who get divorced say that we grew apart,
and it's being glorified.
Growth is inevitable.
Yeah.
You start somewhere 24, and you talked about
You grow, yeah.
Now, I mean, you're at a different space than you were.
Yeah,
when you
sure,
were,
for
when
sure,
When
yeah.
you're 24. I'm not sure how to ask this question, but is it something that can be worked with? Would you say that you guys have grown and still are together, or because you're together, you've grown apart but are just making it work because it's supposed to be a lifetime?
Oh yeah. I think that's a very significant question, and I appreciate that. One of the things that I learned as we were growing together is the importance of growing together. You know, in all aspects. One, you need to grow your marriage by attending some seminars and listen to things that speaks about marriage, and you constantly reflect on those as a couple. Even when you have, for example, academic goals or study and stuff, at least do your level best to tag along. Don't have someone there with a certificate and someone with a PhD. It becomes a challenging experience, because the more you learn is the more your mind grows. It's the more your way of thinking, your way of reasoning grows. So if you do not grow together, becomes a problem. Then you grow apart if you don't grow together. So that is important. But also there are some factors that can also affect that. Maybe even just to problematize it a little, and maybe even just share where we had found ourselves maybe a year or two back. For speaking about growth, 2 years back we had the Tsepiso. Responsibilities and things shift. This person becomes a main focus because they are totally dependent on you. And there were times where I genuinely felt, when I was reflecting, that our marriage was like going on autopilot, riding on the commitment that we have made prior, and not what we continue to work on now. And that becomes a serious problem, because you just, if let's say you have walked a particular distance, and you put this vehicle that you are using on autopilot, it will maintain the same speed. It will do its own thing, and while it was on autopilot, we continued growing individually.
Okay.
So that is a potential conflict where we had to kind of sit down and look at ourselves and look at our relationship and say, we actually have not been doing a lot in terms of growing this. It has been riding on autopilot because of our faithfulness to God and to our commitment. When you have made a commitment before God and say, we are together with my wife forever, it was riding solely on that commitment, and not on what we continue to work on this side of parenting. So that can become a challenging thing as well. That can lead to this growing apart. I've seen many relationships breaking when a child came into a space, because it can be quite challenging, because now life revolves around this person. You have to do everything. They become the focus, until to a point where you lose yourself within the space, and all of you channel your energy to this vulnerable human being. But I think one thing that you have to realize, you have to know, and my wife and I have to remind ourselves, we were together before this person. We love our child, but it was us before this person, and it will be us after this person goes. One day they will be married, and we still need to remain liking each other when they are gone. So we had to prioritize, and understand that the other time I've learned from Rev Errol, from our conversations that we would normally have. We would say, once you make a decision to get married, your relationship with your spouse become the most important relationship under the sun, because of the significance and the consequences it has. It has eternal consequences. So this becomes the most important thing, and we have to come back to a space where we realize that, and we do things to grow together. People who say we've grown apart, it's because they did not make an intentional decision to grow together.
You kept on emphasizing the commitment that you made on the altar, but you also spoke about the commitment that you continue to make.
Yes.
So marriage is a continued commitment.
You continue every day, forsaking all others.
Every wake up and you make that every single day you wake up, you decide to love your wife anew. Every day.
Every day, yes. Every day you make an intention to forsake all others. All the time, those marital vows. So
love is a decision, right?
Yes. You have to
make
choose
every
to
single
love.
day. Just because you made it yesterday
Yes.
doesn't mean it's going to yesterday doesn't ride on tomorrow.
No. You have to refresh, restore, renew every time.
And yet it's most open. I feel like you've answered most of my questions.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
I think I still want to ride on this one because we're in a society. It's self-care, self-love. Put yourself first. Pursue your happiness, and as much as you might be growing together, like that.
Yeah.
Some people have said that it was not serving them, and they're in that in that relationship. And now maybe I'm not.
Was not serving
it
them.
was not serving them.
Common.
Yeah. So, and maybe one may be thinking, Hore, this growing together. Let's say it's going towards this direction, but then during the journey where you are empowering yourself and dragging the other one along, but they feel like, no man, this is where I want to be. I want to be there and not there anymore, and the other one wants to be that side. How do you speak to this space?
Yeah, I think for me it's important to have the vision for marriage from God. What should marriage accomplish? 2, this marriage also of our own needs to have a particular vision and a particular direction where it's going, and this direction needs to be communicated before, during, and all the times, just to check that, are we still going there? Are we still together in this? Are we still going in the same direction? And just even to come back to the point where you have raised about not serving each other, that, or marriage not serving me, so I'm fine. I'm leaving this space. That's why for me I would really recommend marriage to someone who is saved, to someone who loves Christ, because the love of Christ becomes the measure on how we interact in our relationship. So I think I'm convinced that one has to first understand that love of Christ, because we do copy and paste. We copied what Christ is doing and what Christ has said as his exemplary life, Imagine if Christ was to say the same about us and say, this relationship is no longer serving me. You know, you guys do your own thing. We will
You
see.
keep on crucifying me
Yes,
every time.
we will see you in hell. You know, keep on doing what you're doing. That's where it will lead you. You know, Christ's commitment to us does not change even when we change. It remains constant, and we have to understand that kind of grace, love, sacrificial love, and all of those fruit of the spirit. We have to understand that first, and then we take that and copy it and apply it in our personal relationship. And you will know that when you take that kind of love, you apply within the relationship here, you will know that this is not about me. It's a sacrificial kind of love that gives and take all the time. So it's not about me serving me and wanting to achieve what pleases me. Yeah. So I mean, but we're living in a very challenging space where it's all about me, and just to say that statement of own happiness is not entirely wrong, in my own opinion. Why? Because you can only give what you have. We need to draw the line. I feel like we're in the extreme part of this statement of pursuing what satisfy you. I think we are far to the extreme. Now I want to put it within a context there where you can only give what you have. If you then pursue your by the way, all these things, your mental health, your emotional stability, all of those things does not depend on your partner.
That's good.
You have to seek that for yourself. It does not. Your partner can help you to make sure that you stay on track. We can help each other on that journey, but that depends on you. You have to make sure that you are sane. You have to make sure that you are emotionally healthy and stuff. That's the journey that all of us has to put hard work in. Your partner can't do that for you, and unfortunately, and most of us, the thing is, we are not willing to confront those challenging moments in our lives, you know, that makes us behave in a certain way, because sometimes we have taken our past experiences and wounds, and those have become what shapes our identity, you know, and we hold that so dearly that we are not willing to let go even when we are provided with the alternative, you know. So unfortunately, that you have to pave your own. And also, marriage will take two people to work. Even if I love my wife sacrificially as Christ loved the church, and understand that I have my love for her needs to remain constant, just as Christ's love is. It takes two people to make it work. You know, all of us needs to pull our weight in this. But also, what that doesn't mean is I am not going to treat my spouse the way they are treating me. I'm going to treat them the way God expects me to treat them, even when they're not pulling their end of the load. That becomes it's a struggle. I'm sure my wife can say the same thing about me. You know, it's a daily struggle, but we know that we are aware of stuff that are challenging us, and we are trying our level best to work on those things. Sometimes you need other people as well. Yeah.
So you're saying that you need to get it right before you get married, or have the willingness to get it right and then get married and then work on it in your marriage?
I think that's a necessary question, a challenging one as well, because I feel like if we go with the initial one to say, I'm going into this marriage, if I die, I die. You know, that becomes a problem. You are going to do unnecessary hard work within that space, and you are going to find yourself stuck in a relationship that you see that this one is not going to go far. But because you have made the commitment to marriage, then that becomes a trouble. I think it becomes necessary for people to walk a journey, learn one another, have important conversations, sit with other people, have a counselor. You don't have to be married to have a counselor. Sit with someone who can guide the two of you and help you see the light.
Like the ones that we offer here, that you transform.
Yeah, you transform. If you want us to walk a journey with you, even a dating journey, we are willing to walk with you because marriage is important, and we don't want people to enter into it uninformed. So, and you don't want to enter into a space and say, I'm a man of God, she's a man of God, we love God together, whatever we will fix when we're inside.
God, my friend.
Huh?
She's a woman of God.
Yeah, whatever. No. That was the slip of the tongue. Yeah. So I'm a man of God, she's a woman of God.
Yeah.
We love the Lord together. We are committed to serving the Lord together. Let's just get married. We will figure out the rest.
Yeah.
That becomes a challenge. So for me, I would advise people to go through the process of seek advice, get to know each other, and decide. Even if a person is a man of God, they may be a man of God, but not for you, and a woman of God, not for you. So I think,
what you just said kind of answered my other question that I had was, how much planning went into your marriage? Did you plan, or did you just go with the flow? There sounds like there was a lot of planning that went into your marriage before you went into it.
Yeah, and I can tell you, even with those plannings, we still didn't get everything right, but at least we know what we are going into. Yeah, it took a while, about 2 years. Yeah, I think about 2 years.
Are you saying before you got married?
Yes. It's not a standard.
So Bang's thinking she hasn't even started.
It's not a standard, but
To each their own.
Yeah, to each their own. I can only advise on this side, But doing prior work helps you not to do unnecessary work when you are
That's good.
in a marriage space. Yeah.
That's good.
No. So, tell us some of the happiest moments within your marriage. Some stuff that you look back at. Maybe happiest, funniest. What's happening there by the marriage space there?
Yeah, no.
This was just so deep and intense.
We need to take it light. Yeah.
Maybe we should have you and Jess actually.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice actually. When we got married, that was one of the happiest days of my life. I look back to that day and I'm like, man, that was a wonderful day for me. Just seeing my wife coming down and walking to me and coming with her father, and my father-in-law cried actually. So because my wife is the firstborn. Yeah. So that was one of them. Just maybe just highlights. I mean, the birth of the Tsepiso, that was one of those beautiful moments as well.
Sure.
And apart from that, we just have fun constantly. Most of the times, we are about good vibes, But yeah, I think those were I don't know. I mean, there has been graduations in between. My wife has completed her degree. I thought that was beautiful and that was special, because I was there alongside her, walking with her through that journey until
growing together.
Yes, growing together. There's been just I think those are the few I can think of. I'm sure there are many. If I'm given time to think, I can go back to the 7 years and pick at least 10 in each year, kind of. But just for the sake of this, I think that was that. But also we just have funny moments, and also just to when you learn that some of the things that you believed about marriage prior to marriage, were just myth and just impossible things to impossible expectations. And like I have to make like for example, I did my best by the grace and the help of God to preserve myself for marriage. The Lord has helped me to keep my zip intact. I can't claim credit to that. That's a decision I've made, but the Lord has helped me. But in my mind, I was thinking, when I go to marriage, because I was keeping myself for marriage, and I was like, when I go to marriage, it will go down.
You're gonna pay for those.
It will go down. And now you're like, there are pregnancies in between, there are period pains in between, they're just life circumstances in between, that will show you that this is not possible to when a person is not happy, when they are sad, when they're going through a lot of stuff, when they're extremely exhausted, you realize that I shame, even when you kept yourself for marriage, you have to understand that and I learned that when I'm already married, that you should be keeping yourself for God and not for other person. You should keep yourself for God, and you understand that this is for God. It's not for my partner. They will benefit from that, but it's not solely for them. Because if you keep that, you're saying, no, this is for my spouse. I'm keeping this for my husband or for my wife. And then when you go in there, you realize that they're not as adventurous as you hoped they would be.
You must make it to a short.
Anything for you.
Wow.
Then you realize that this person is not as adventurous as you had hoped, and you come as a man of God with all the energy of 24 years, and you're like, no, it must go down. And now you realize that you need to just calm yourself down and take every day as it comes. That was what for me. I went when I kept myself. I knew that God expects me not to engage in sexual activities to a person who is not my married partner. I knew that. And I was like, I kept that, but it was not especially for that. It was especially for my spouse. And now I'm realizing, I'm glad I kept myself, and I understand that the Lord has honored that commitment. But if that remains my constant expectation, I'm going to live, it's going to be a failed one, because my wife is not like me. They have their ups and downs, and they have their stuff. So if you are keeping yourself, just change your mind. Keep yourself for God, not for any other person. Keep because ultimately God is the one who will reward you. Your spouse will benefit, but do it for God. Drop mic.
I'm sure it's about. I mean, as we engage in this conversation, there are many more questions that are coming and that are surfacing, but it's not something that we could cover all in.
I could ask questions the whole day.
I think we will just keep it there. Otherwise, this was an interesting. Some questions, I must say, I never thought of to be that deep, and I must and I must say that even part of my walk with Christ was on autopilot. I know that this is a sin. I'm not going to do it. So I'm just staying away from. I don't want to grow in intentionally resisting that sin. I just went away and say, that is it. This is sin. This is me. I'm going to the opposite direction. I didn't grow my spiritual muscles at some point where I will learn to resist. Sometimes to resist is to walk away, but sometimes to resist is to confront. So but that happens as a person grows. like I'm saying, all these things, if you were to ask me a few years back, I probably wouldn't even respond to this as, maybe the content will be the same, but the explanation will probably be different. It comes with just a little bit of growth in marriage and in days, I'm a little bit old. So if I said at church the other time, Meg, that if I minus 7 on your age, I agree, I'm married for 7 years, and you are less than 20, you probably shouldn't be thinking of marriage. Work on some others. If I take 7 and you are so far, but if I take 7 and you're still fine, let's push. No, I'm just kidding. Don't take that serious. That was just me closing up this conversation on my side. I don't know if there's any other.
I want to say to anyone that's watching, whatever conviction this conversation gives you, go with it. If it says you're not ready, you must rest. If it says, okay, maybe you're ready, whatever. Just whatever conviction you get from the Holy Spirit from this. Because, listen, this was a mouthful. This was...
Top tier.
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you, Minister. And I would encourage people, reach out. I mean, while we are still reachable, there will be time where we will not be able to respond to our inboxes and I'm not even saying it out of pride or anything, but I'm saying while we are still able to engage, my inboxes are not flooding. I don't have flooding inboxes. I don't have. If you are a couple, you want to see me and my wife, just let us know. Then we'll make time to see you. If you want to see me, just let's work around that. Reach out and let's navigate life and love together.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't go to this thing. If I die, I die. No. Marriage is not for you to die. It's for life.
Yes.
Nah?
Consultation fee?
No, we'll talk about these things outside this conversation. Maybe I can even make a special discount for someone who's watching this episode. It's going to be free.
And engages.
Yes,
with this
it's going to be free.
Yeah.
Yes, so please just reach out and let's talk about these things.
Sure.
Don't go into this thing with if I die, I die. Marriage is not for dying, it's for living. You need to live and be abundant. Have this abundance in you. So thank you very much, friends and family. Please just send your questions and your comments. We would love to learn from you and your relationship and how things are going on your side. And if there's anything you'd like to hear from us, send a question from myself, from the minister, from Meg. We will respond accordingly.
We are on social media. We are on Instagram. We are also on TikTok.
Yes.
So if you just engage us.
Yes.
We're there.
And
we're also on Facebook.
She's very, because she's not on Facebook.
We're also on Facebook. Reach out to us.
Yes.
Your
She's only on
nearest
Facebook
social media
for us.
platform. We are there.
Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you
Type
very
in
much. We
also subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
If you haven't subscribed, don't just watch. Subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified of each and every episode that we get.
Yes. Thank you. From the three of us, remain connected.
Ciao.
Ciao.